Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2,489 with a release date of Friday, July 11th, 2025. To follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. A POTA activator suffers a tragic death. Club Log is getting an upgrade, and Ham Shack Hotline prepares to say farewell. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2,489 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, WB9VPG.
Our top story this week takes us to the scene of a tragedy in North Carolina in which a well-known Parks on the Air activator died after being electrocuted. We have more details from Jim Davis, W2JKD.
Trip Owens, N4NTO, a well-regarded POTA activator, died on Friday, July 4th, when, according to investigators, his antenna mast made contact with an overhead power line at the Chickasaw Civil War Cemetery near the Averisboro Battlefield Historic Site, US 11375. According to several local news reports, emergency crews were called to the scene after Tripp was found unconscious in the parking lot. One news report said that the fire crews found him with his foot touching the mast beneath the power lines. Power company crews turned off the power to give the responders access. Tripp was pronounced dead at the scene. A report on the QRPer.com website relayed information from Dave, W4JL, who said Tripp had been spotted on the reverse beacon network between 12:02 and 12:13 UTC that morning, but noted on the POTA spots page that he was going QRT. QRPer's Thomas Witherspoon, K4SWL, added, and I quote, "This is heartbreaking news for those of us in the Parks on the Air and WWFF communities. Tripp was well-known and a well-loved North Carolina POTA operator, a dedicated hunter and activator whose call sign appears in my logs many times over the years," unquote. Tripp's death was ruled accidental. Within hours of the news, the ham radio community offered condolences to his family on social media and shared memories of a man who they praised for his spirit of mentorship and his general sense of humor. Mark Gibson, N4MQU, praised him for his achievements as a top CW operator and a devoted contester. He'd been a ham since 1985. Ambrose Tripp Owens III was 57 years old. This is Jim Davis, W2JKD.
On a personal note, Newsline would like to remind all our listeners, especially those operating portable stations, to please exercise utmost caution, especially during setup and takedown. Say goodbye to Ham Shack Hotline, the free VoIP telecom service. The service announced it would be discontinued effective the 29th of August. The project began in 2018 and grew to be a global communications network with a peak establishment of 7,000 interconnections across numerous servers. Ham Shack Hotline's board of directors said it will donate whatever cash reserves it may have to a charity that supports military veterans. In Dallas, Texas, a former NASA astronaut will be the guest speaker at an educational event that marks the anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing and celebrates advances in space exploration. Cell MB KB3TZD has that story.
Retired Colonel Carl Walls, formerly KC-5TIE, will deliver the keynote address at the Dallas Frontiers of Flight Museum during Moon Day, which celebrates space exploration and encourages attendees to participate in activities involving science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Moon Day is taking place on the 19th of July, a date close to the July 24th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969. The Ohio native, a former ISS astronaut, spent more than 18 hours conducting spacewalks to evaluate tools for the refurbishment of the Hubble Space Telescope. AMSAT Ambassador Thomas Schuessler, N5HYP, will join with satellite enthusiasts from North Texas to demonstrate CubeSats using models and a simulator and talk about amateur radio in space. Members of the Dallas Amateur Radio Club will be on hand to also share amateur radio's role in supporting science education. For details about attending, or if you live nearby and want to volunteer, email Tom at n5hyp@arrl.net. This is Cell MB, KB3TZD.
32 campers traveled from all over the world to Thornton, Colorado in June to attend the annual America's Wide Camp for amateur radio operators aged 15 to 25 called Youth on the Air. Jack McElroy, KM4ZIA, has been the leader of the Yoda balloon launch team since he was 14 years old at the camp's first in-person event in the Americas. In 2022, Newsline shared Jack's story of one of his personal balloons becoming the closest any amateur radio balloon has been to the South Pole. At this year's Yoda camp, the youth team, in cooperation with Edge of Space Sciences, launched a high-altitude balloon, tracked it by APRS, and brought back video from near space after reaching a height of 96,600 feet. But thunderstorms prevented the launch of the two Pico balloons scheduled for that afternoon. Instead, the balloons were transported to NIST radio station WWV in Fort Collins the next day, where the campers were taking a tour of the facility and operated portable stations. The wide open spaces and clear sky at WWV proved to be a great launch site for these balloons as they started the longest journey of any Yoda America's balloons yet. At the time of recording this edition of Newsline, one balloon is flying over Hawaii and is closing in on an entire orbit around the Earth, while the other balloon made it to western Iran before returning to the ground. Jack told Newsline, quote, "This all would not have been possible without the curiosity and efforts of the campers, for they were the ones assembling, balancing, and launching the balloons. I hope that through experiences like this, youth can be inspired to bring their amateur radio expertise into areas that they never thought possible, from research projects to future careers," end quote. The balloon launch was sponsored by the North Fulton Amateur Radio League. You can follow the trek of these balloons on whispernet.org under KM4ZIA and on APRS.FI under Whiskey Zero Yankee-1 and Whiskey Zero Yankee-11. An active and influential YL in Austria has become a silent key. We hear more about her from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A near-fatal shooting in the head during an armed robbery in Vienna more than 3 decades ago nearly claimed the life of Monika Wilczek, OE3YUP. Emerging from a coma, she partly recovered, but she was left with some paralysis for the rest of her life. Her love of amateur radio, which she shared with her husband Helmut, OE3HCB, kept her in the forefront of the amateur radio community until she became a silent key on the 10th of June this year. Her death was reported recently in the YL Beam newsletter. Monika was an active member of the Forest District of the Austrian Military Radio Society and an active participant in YL activities each year at Ham Radio Friedrichshafen. She was 79. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In New York City, which the FCC considers one of the most active locations for unlicensed radio activity, another broadcaster has been charged with radio piracy. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, has the details.
The Federal Communications Commission has sent a letter to a property owner in the New York borough of the Bronx, charging them with permitting unlicensed broadcasting from that location. The FCC cited complaints about a broadcast on 89.3 FM coming from an apartment above ground floor retail establishments in June and November of 2024, and again this past January. The letter was sent under the Pirate Act of 2020, which strengthened the FCC's enforcement authority and raised possible penalties against pirate broadcasters. The property owners are required to respond to the agency within 10 days. Under the Pirate Act, the FCC can issue a maximum fine of $2.5 million if the broadcasts continue after the response period has passed. The Radio World website, which carried the report, said one of its readers in New York City identified the broadcast as coming from an entity known as Digital FM WDYM. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the multi-mode Jacksonville Hub, which connects to such modes as the AB4KK-R, Echolink node number 626636, Allstar 510740, and TGIF Talk Group 33333. At 105 years of age, the Brazilian radio operator known as Grandma Alda still keeps the word young in YL. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, tells us about the on-air celebration held for her.
The special event call sign Papa Papa 105 Alpha Sierra November, that's PP 105 ASN, was on the air for 11 days in June. But the YL being honoured has been on the air for 49 years, and she's been on the planet for 105. Her name is Alda Shlemni Mayu, who is known widely as Grandma Alda. To mark her 105th birthday this past spring, her fellow members in the Blumenau Amateur Radio Club used SSB and FT8 on HF, as well as 2-meter FM simplex. The club's president, Marosa Kara Leti, PP5 BSD, told Newsline there were a total of 1,200 QSOs, and they were acknowledged via digital QSL. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Every year, devoted volunteers return the tradition of maritime radio to the air in California. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, tells us how.
The silencing of the last maritime radio station in the U.S. and California in 1999 gave voice to an effort to create the Maritime Radio Historical Society, K6KPH, to preserve its treasured Morse code tradition. Every year, the event, Night of Nights, celebrates this tradition on the anniversary of the day that the station signed off, ensuring that July 12th would not mark the station's final sign-off after all. Broadcast engineers, radio operators, and history enthusiasts have seen to that. They volunteered to bring new life to the receive site at the Point Reyes National Seashore and to the Bolinas radio transmitter site, returning Morse service to the station known as KPH/KFS. This year's 26th edition of Night of Nights is a collaboration of modern skills and classic-style equipment, including Marconi T-type antennas at both the transmitter and receive sites. KPH and KFS will be operating on assigned commercial frequencies, while K6KPH will be operating on several HF amateur radio bands. For times, frequencies, and QSL information, please check the Maritime Radio Historical Society website at radiomarine.org. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
The practice of amateur radio in Japan is feeling its age, 100 years old next year, and hams there are ready to send a message that the best is yet to come. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, tells us what's planned.
Japanese amateurs are marking a double anniversary, both spanning 100 years. They are celebrating the establishment of the Japan Amateur Radio League in June of 1926. The league was created to assist innovators and experimenters who were conducting their radio research without benefit of a license. That changed in September of the following year when the call sign JXAX was assigned government to the first of what would soon become a handful of radio telegraph and telephone stations. Ham radio kept growing, so that just before the Second World War, the nation had 300 such stations. Hams in Japan will be marking those two formative moments in history during a celebration designed to last 16 months, the same time period between the events 100 years ago. Awards, ceremonies, special event stations, contests, and an anniversary book are among the activities planned. Clearly, there's a lot to celebrate in that 100-year stretch, which last year landed Japan in the Guinness Book of World Records for putting JS1YMG, the first amateur radio station, on the moon. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Expect improved operation soon from Clublog, thanks to some grant money to cover the costs. Here's Jeremy Boot, G4NGH, with the details.
Clublog, a service that has become a mainstay for DXers worldwide, has received a grant of $8,000 US for a hardware upgrade to improve operations. The funding from the Northern California DX Foundation is being given to Michael G7VJR, Clublog's author. In a DX Foundation press release, Clublog reminded users that the expensive upgrade of its servers is necessary to support expanded activity. Michael said, quote, "Once the new servers are deployed, Clublog will be using cutting-edge servers which are faster, more energy efficient, and ready for years of high-endurance work 24/7. unquote. According to a press release from the DX Foundation, the free Club Log Statistics Service supports an estimated 130,000 call signs worldwide and stores records of 1.25 billion QSOs. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
In the world of DX, Nicholas F5TGR will be on the air from Iceland as TF/F5TGR from July 26th through to August 9th on 40, 30, 20, 15, 12, and 10 meters. Nicholas will be using CW sideband and FT8. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Andre HB9HLM is on the air holiday style as CN2NE from Morocco from the 15th through to the 22nd of July. Listen for him on 40 through 6 meters from grid locator IM63. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Special call sign TM5VDL is on the air through to the 19th of July from Dunkirk. This activation is taking place during the second stage of the Tall Ships races. QSL via F8KGS. Take JI3DST is using the call sign JI3DST-1 from Shukine Island, IOTA number AS008 on the 24th through to the 28th of July, and will be in the IOTA contest. See QRZ.com for details. Listen for Vlad, OK2WX, using the call sign JW0V from Longyearbyen, IOTA number EU026, Svalbard, from the 14th through to the 23rd of July. Vlad will be using CW sideband and FT8 on 80 through 10 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. On the amateur radio calendar, ARRL Field Day is one of the most anticipated days of the year, for 1YL in particular, and for Amateur Radio Newsline. The late June event was one for the logbooks. Our final story this week is about her, as we hear from Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
With 1,536 sites in ARRL's Field Day locator, one in particular stands out. Headquarters station W1AW in Newington, Connecticut. Operators at the Hiram Percy Max and Memorial Station were, of course, calling CQ Field Day. But if you were lucky enough to log this 6 Foxtrot class station on Saturday, June 28th, there's a good chance you may have worked Audrey McElroy, KM4BUN. Audrey was the Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Memorial Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year for 2022. The Georgia resident has been in Connecticut working on an internship in support of her electrical engineering studies at Georgia Tech. Audrey is, of course, a Field Day veteran and a former operator for the Dave Calter Memorial Youth DX Adventure to Curacao. Dayton Hamvention attendees may have also met her in Xenia, Ohio as a presenter. This year's Field Day at W1AW was a proud moment for us here at Newsline, and we wish Audrey continued success and, of course, good DX. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
A good QSO can be like poetry sometimes, so why not write a haiku about amateur radio and join the Newsline Haiku Challenge? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. We can only accept the correct haiku format, that is, a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to ABC News, Amateur News Daily, AMSAT News, ARRL, Blumenau Amateur Radio Club, David BR, K7DB, DX World, 425DX Bulletin, FCC, Japan Amateur Radio League, Maritime Radio Historical Society, QRPer.com, QRZ.com, Radio World, ShortwaveRadio.de, Wireless Institute of Australia, WRAL News, YL Beam, Yoda America's Camp, Zero Retries newsletter, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
W8WKY.
The weekly Serenette, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My goodness, where's Russ, WB8UPA, when you need him? CQ, CQ, CQ! This is WA8KOC, and I'm calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Weekly Net here on the W8WKY repeater, which is located in Doylestown, Ohio. Frequency is 147 Mark 390 megahertz, and the CTCSS code for the repeater is 114 Mark 8. This is a control net. All traffic should pass through net control. Emergency traffic may break in as required. For this evening's net, I'd like to welcome everybody and let them know that I will be using the club call W8WKY for the call for NCO. And with that, we have a very hectic scheduled day tomorrow, full of wonderful nets. I'm sure there's going to be some communication about that along the line here. But I'd like to call for any statements who have any announcements or any pertinent information to pass on to the participants of this evening's net. Please give me a call. Well, hearing nothing, I have one important announcement. I don't know if AA8CS, our club president Gary Shorter, is listening. I had communication with my good buddy Dick, K8AMX, the old goat, today. He is in rehabilitation, trying to get him mobile. I think there's a question of cancer, and I don't know what's going on there. I don't think that anybody does. But I did talk to his wife Susan today, and she alerted me to that fact. So everybody to know that Dick is okay. He's doing fine. He's being well taken care of. He's trying to get mobile. You know, God bless the guy. He's such a good guy. And with that, I want to say good evening to everybody. I'm going to welcome everybody to the net. And I'd like to take some in and out check-ins for this evening's net. So if somebody would call W8WKY and let me know that they're there and checking in and out, that would be most appreciated. Good evening, everybody.
Whiskey, Bravo 8, Victor, Mike Whiskey, Jim and Barberton, in and out. Broadcoaster, Mark and Wadford, in and out.
Whiskey Delta 8, Lima Lima Alpha, Neil and Brewster. Good evening, Fred. I'll be in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Juliet, November Hotel, Doug and Ribbon, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, India Mike Echo David Sterling, in and out.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Tango Alpha, Jeff in New Franklin, in and out.
Hey Fred, this is Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8, TLB. I'll be in and out, 73, and God bless everyone. Thanks for running that.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, will be in and out this evening.
W8JAX, Rod, Jacksonville, in and out. Good evening, all.
November 8, Whiskey Sugar, Bill in New London, in and out.
if the gods of amateur radio could please explain to me how these call signs checking in and out come in so eloquently, so without any kind of confusion or any kind of incurrences. I'd like to know how that happens. But I did copy WB8VMW, my buddy Jim over in Barberton, in and out. KE8SFS Mark also in and out. My good friend Neil down in Brewster, WD8LLA. Neil, I got you marked in and out. Thanks for being here, buddy. KE8JNH Doug, thank you for being here with us. KE8IME David, thanks for being here with us. I got you marked in and out. KF8DTA also in and out. KE8TLB Randy in and out. KA8MNT, our master of humor for the barometer net in the mornings. Tom, I hope you're okay. W8JAX down in Jacksonville. Rod, thank you. And N8WS Bill, I've got you in and out. Good hearing, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to check in and out with us this evening. I'm going to take another round of in and out check-ins and see if anybody else would like to check in and out with us. It's great to hear everybody. W8WKY, listening.
Hey, John. Mike Barberton, in and out.
Mike, I copied your name in Barberton. Could you please give me your call sign again and give a pause after keying up so I can make sure I get it right? If it be phonetically, that'd be great.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Alpha Hotel, India.
KF8AHI, thank you very much, Mike. Taking care of yourself. Have a terrific Tuesday and a good evening. Anyone else?
Here is KB8LNK. Ron in Orville, be in and out. Good evening.
All right, I've also added Ron, KB8LNK. Ron, good to hear you, buddy. Thanks for checking in with us this evening. I'll mark you in and out. Have a good Tuesday. Anyone else before we start taking a round of check-ins for who's going to stick around and play trivia with us? W8WKY. Hearing nothing else, I'm going to welcome everybody to the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Weekly Net. We meet here every Tuesday at p.m. We enjoy each other's camaraderie. We play some trivia. We see what's going on with the world of amateurs around us. And hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday evening so far. I'll go ahead and take check-ins for those that would like to stick around and tell us what's going on in their world and play some trivia with us. W8WKY listening.
Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8 LYJ, Bob in Barberton. I'll play.
This is November X-Ray November Vic. Name is Jeff.
We just had a station check in. I thought it was going to be N8XNV, Jeff, out in Elyria, but that didn't really sound like his voice. That station, you were kind of broken up. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple more check-ins and ask for you to check in a little bit later on here. Anybody else?
KE8QFT.
Alpha 8, Charlie Tango. Craig and Shreve.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray, KE8 VOX, Scott and Vermillion.
W8WKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8SLG, Nick, down the farm.
I did copy Nick, KD8SLG, and there was a station came in after him. It sounded like Phil, K8PMI, but the call was all broken up. If that was you, Phil, could you acknowledge?
W8WKY.
Roger, roger. This is K8PM.
Mucho much better, thank you, Phil. Anyone else?
November Tango 8 Delta, NT8D, Dave and Copley.
W8WKY, this is Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Romeo. That's KE8, ZZR, Harry over here in Wadsworth.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta Tango Papa KF8 DTP Lori Maslin.
KE8 UIB Kilo Echo 8 Uniform India Bravo KE8 UIB John Maslin.
Hang on, Jerry. W8WKY K4OG Martin Copley.
Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa KC8 HDP Jerry and Shreve.
All right, I copied KC8HDP, Jerry. I got you. A station checked in right after you, kind of underneath you, but after you, and all I got was a lot of static and a couple of syllables. If that station could up the power or change locations and try again, it would be most appreciated.
I'd have to come up on the link if you wanted me to do it right, but here's what I sound like on the RF side, WA4WGA.
This is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, John in Cuyahoga Falls, and Ray there.
So I missed.
This is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, John in Cuyahoga Falls, and Ray sounds good there.
Blasting in here loud and clear, just as usual, John. Thank you, I got you. Anyone else?
I checked in a little earlier and didn't know if you got me. November 8, Whiskey Bravo, Stephen, Sharon Township.
Hold on, do I know you? Stephen, NAWB, I got you. I'm going to list everybody who I've got so far. There may be some corrections to be had. Maybe I'm mistaken. I copied KA8 LYJ Robert, N8 XNV Jeff out in Lyria. Maybe. That's a question mark after that. KE8 QFT Uncle Fred over in Medina. AA8 CT Brother Craig. KE8 VOX Scotty. I think it might have been W2JLS, my buddy John over in Farallon. KD8 SLG Just Nick. K8 PMI, my buddy Phil. NTAD Brother Dave. I hope Dave's having a good evening so far. KE8 ZZR Harry, my buddy. KF8 DTP Ms. Lori. Thanks for being here with us. KE8 UIB Johnny. K4OG Mark, I caught you too. KC8 HDP Jerry. W84WGA Ray. WO3X John, and N8WB. Additions or corrections, please, W8WKY.
WWKY. This is November 8, X-Ray November, Victor. You got me, that's correct.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha, KE8, VZA, Eric in Strongsville.
All right, confirming NAXNV. Jeff, we got you, and I've got Eric added to the list, KE8VZA. I thought I copied my buddy John, W2JLS. John, are you out there? Was that you that I heard?
Affirmative, this is W2JLS. That was me you heard, and keep me on the list. How about that?
Alrighty then, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net this evening. Great to hear everybody. One comment I'd like to make is, I guess there was a glitch in Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association's W8WKY.org website. AF1K, my buddy Rich over in Stowe, had alerted me to the fact that he tried to use the website, and it came back with a critical error. I think AA8CS, our president Gary, has kind of fixed that issue. Hopefully, everything's gone right now. So, great hearing everybody. I'm only going to take one more round before we start going through the list and saying good evening and playing trivia. Anyone else for this next round before we start playing? WAWKY. All right. Hearing nothing, great to have everybody aboard this evening. We had a few in and out check-ins, probably 11 or 12, and that makes me happy. And yeah, it's just good to hear everybody this evening, and hopefully everybody's had a great Tuesday. I have chosen a question for this evening's trivia, and there may be those out there who are much more scientifically and mathematically inclined than I am. But I'm going to ask this question anyway, and then we'll go ahead, propose it to those playing, and ask them for their comments, and then at the end we'll get an answer. The question is, where would you tune for a signal that has the same numeric value of frequency in megahertz and wavelength in meters? Where would you tune for a signal that has the same numeric value of frequency in megahertz and wavelength in meters? Now, I could go ahead and give multiple answers, but I want to know who the really smart individuals are, because I'm looking to hang out with them. I can tell you, it is somewhere between 12 and 20 megahertz. So with that, welcome aboard, everybody. Good to hear everybody. They'll probably fire me after this evening. But anyway, KA8LYJ from WAWKY, Robert. Good evening. How the heck are you? Everything okay with you on your end?
WAWKY, KA8LYJ. Well, it was until that question came up. I'd have to Google to find the formula and then fiddle around with a calculator, and since I was first up on the list, I ain't got time to do that. So I'm going to have to defer to people who are better at this than me. There's a reason I'm a journalist. Other than that, everything's fine. Did some erranding today. It was a productive day procuring tickets. Actually, one of them was last night. Got a set of tickets to Todd Rundgren through the Veteran Ticket Foundation. Got another set from the same folks for John Lodge. And made it through the queue and got some really crappy seats for Paul McCartney in Columbus in November. Yeah, the seats are crappy, but doggone it, it's Paul McCartney, and I'll never get a chance to see him live again, so I'll take him. It was the best I could afford. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, K8LYJ.
W8WKY.
Okay, Barb, I'm going to say I'm jealous. I'm really jealous. Lennon McCartney, the duo that took over the world as far as music's concerned in my light, and always loved the music. Not really a fan of George Harrison's, although he did pretty well for himself. And Ringo Starr, Richard Starkey, he was a great talent too. Todd Rundgren, man, that brings back some memories. I think you're going to have a couple of good concerts to attend there. I'm not going to give an answer for you. On down the line here, if somebody needs a hint, I can go ahead and give them a hint. Bob, I'm sorry I called in you first that you didn't have time to get to Google the information and use the calculator. Like I say, they'll probably fire me after tonight. You take good care of yourself. I will look forward to talking to you maybe tomorrow morning if you're around. Have yourself a terrific Tuesday, what's left of it, buddy. Talk to you later. 7-3. N8XNV, Jeff, good evening. How are things out in Elyria? And thanks for being here with us. Your answer to the trivia question if you've got one.
Internet, this is November, 8 X-ray November, Victor. First of all, I want to say good evening. Had a kind of a long day. Had work down in Dover, down there a little bit, and just into Elyria from that. Kind of turned to a long day, but with that, I don't have a whole lot else going on. Work around the house, like that, but and with the trivia, I really don't know right offhand, but everyone just take care and have a good evening. I'll be sticking around. This is November 8 X-ray November, Victor Econet.
Jeff, I want to take this opportunity to say good evening. Thank you for being here with us. I'm going to apologize to you and everybody else that I didn't have multiple choice answers to accompany this question. I got in here late from being out with my darling bride. I was trying to prompt her to get her butt in the car and get home so I could run this net. My apologies. Whatever you do, have a terrific Tuesday. Hopefully it's been good for you so far. We'll look forward to talking to you in the near future, okay? 7-3. KEA-QFT, Uncle Fred, good evening. How's life on your end? And do you have an answer for this trivia question? W8WKY.
Oh, thank you very much. Life on the north side of Medina is kind of warm today. As far as the trivia question, I have to disqualify myself because right before the net, by coincidence, I was talking to an engineer at, one of these radio stations I can't even reveal. But anyhow, he's into stuff like this, and he told me, by the way, did you realize? And, he told me, well, I would know the answer, and it just wouldn't be fair for me to give the answer because, I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight because I'd have that unfair advantage. And how's that for getting out of an embarrassing situation? KE8QFT, back to net control.
Uncle Fred, I surely pray to the gods for acquiring some kind of class as you have. That's a good way to get out of it, buddy. All right. I do appreciate you being here with us this evening. And not that you've got to answer a trivia question, but it's great to hear from you. And, yeah, it was a hot one here as well, gotta say. But at any rate, you have yourself a good Tuesday evening. And I'm going to be probably persecuted for this as well. But I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a hint on this trivia question. And if KA8LYJ N8XNB or KE8QFT would like to come back in and give an answer before we give the answer, the actual answer, I'll be glad to take their answer. But the answer for this question will be somewhere between 17.1 and 17.5 megahertz meters. So with that, maybe that'll help some people out. You know what? A dummy like me has to ask a really pertinent, mathematical, deep question like this so I can feel that I've got some kind of an upper hand. Speaking of upper hands, my brother Craig is up next. AAHCT, Brother Craig, good evening. How are things down in Shreve? And thank you for being here with us. Over to you.
W8WKY, good evening, Brother Fred. Well, you gave a hint, but diplomatically, I'm going to choose the same answer as KF8QET because he knows that that's the right answer, so I'm going to go with his answer being the right answer. How's that for an answer? Wow. AA8CT, back to net control.
Uh-oh. Proposing a question such as this, I see I've lost the friendship of my brother Craig. Craig, you take good care of yourself. Have a terrific Tuesday, what's left of it. I will look forward to talking to you in the morning if you got some time. And hope today treated you well, buddy. KE8VOX, Scotty, you're up. How was family lunch? And what's new with you? And have you got an answer for our trivia question? W8WKY here.
W8WKY, this is KE8VOX, Scott up here on the shores of Lake Erie. And I had a beautiful day here up here on the lake. Had a great lunch. There's only 8 of us. We were missing a few, but there was 8 of us and still had a great time and whatnot. Got to sit in air conditioning with the family. That's always a good time. And they got all the concrete poured over at the new house this morning, and we're going to start framing Monday, so all good news all around there. And, well, the bad news is, Fred, you probably don't want to hang around with me then, because I just don't have no idea. It actually, when you first read the trivia question, it actually started to make my head hurt, so I had to put that out of my brain there, so the pain would go away. But otherwise, everybody have a great day, and this is KE8VOX sending it back to net control, 73.
Scott, the last thing that I wanted to do was inflict pain upon you. Sounds like the new homestead's rolling right along, buddy. I gotta say, I'd be excited too. They're going to start framing in Monday. That's good. Glad to know you had a good lunch with the fam, and I hope that you have a good rest of your Tuesday, okay? Take care, stay safe. Hopefully I get a chance to say good morning to you tomorrow. 7-3. My buddy John, W2JLS. John, it's been a while. I hope everything's good on your end. And you're the kind of technical expertise that I would expect you would have an answer, at least some kind of an answer for this trivia. But I miss you, buddy. Over to you.
W8WKY, this is W2JLS. Good evening on your ears, Mr. Fred, and everyone out there listening on the air. I wish I had an answer for you, but I'm ashamed to confess. I heard talking going on. The question did not sink into that space between my ears, and I have absolutely I don't even know what the question is, so my apologies for that. I won't trouble you to reread it. I know we're relatively early in the net. Not a good excuse for me. Kind of involved in prepping for a number of meetings tomorrow, and just too much content I'm trying to draw together in a relatively narrow space of time. Nice to work, into the evening after a full day. I guess I should be happy I've got a job. Anyway, my answer is I just don't know, and it's good hearing you, even if I wasn't paying attention. Again, my apologies. W2BLS, passing it back, Fred. Thanks for having me tonight.
No, sir, John. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. And you know what? To be employed, gainfully employed in this life that we're living here, God bless you, man. And thank goodness I don't have to go back to work full time. That'd be crazy. What I'm doing is a little crazy technical, but I'm enjoying it. Keeps my mind sharp. Not sharp enough to answer this question, though, because my wife actually came up with it. The question is, again, where would you tune on a transceiver for a signal that has the same numeric value of frequency in megahertz and wavelength in meters? Where would you tune for a signal that has the same numeric value of frequency in megahertz as it does in wavelength in meters? So with that, I'm going to give that question back again to the group. If any previous check-ins would like to recheck and give me an answer, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'm going to say 7-3 to my buddy John. Glad you're here with us, John. And I'm going to get it over to my pal Nick. KDSLG. My goodness. Our VP, he is here in the house, and I'm sure that he is the kind of character that could answer this question easily. He's got a lot more brain power than I do. KD8SLG, W8WKY. Over to you, pal.
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Fred, and all of the Sierra Club netizens here. Oh, it's somewhere in the 17-meter range. There you go. That's my answer, man. I've heard this question before, and I don't remember the specifics, and I don't feel like Google boxing. Just got back from running the dog out. Charlotte wanted to go outside for a minute, so just got back in time. Don't know if anybody's answered that one yet or not, but I think it's somewhere in 17 meters. Missed you this morning. Schedule's changing. Sleeping in a little bit. Mornings when I can. This was one of them. So there you go. Tomorrow is Super Net Wednesday. Yeah, we got the Border Breaker net in the afternoon. I've got the first hour. Dustin's taking the day off, so I'll be flying solo, so it'll be nice to me. I think Nancy will be there for the second hour. And, of course, we have the Beacon Net tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Early check-in start at 9:30. Hope to hear a bunch of you there. I'll be there for that as well. Good to hear you, Fred. Hope that narrows it down a little bit. It's KD8SLG back to net control.
Nick, my friend, I appreciate you being here with us this evening. I appreciate your efforts as field day leader, VP of Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association, and everything you do for our club. And I will look forward to speaking to you tomorrow afternoon, probably tomorrow evening. Probably only in and out tomorrow evening because it's so late. But, hey, you know what? Us old guys, we need our sleep. Beauty sleep, they call it, I think. I think the guy that's up next can tell me that is true. 7-3 Nick, K8PMI, my buddy Phil. How the heck are you, Phil? It's good to hear you. I hope life's treating you well. Do you have an answer for our trivia question? And I miss you, buddy. I'll have to check in on a Saturday when you're running the net. Over to you.
UAHC, this is K8PMI. Well, good evening. I just finished up at Eagles being initiated, so now I'm an official member. So now during our meetings, I can go over and get a beer. As for the trivia question, that's too tough for me. I'm with VOX out there. My brain's going to explode. So I'll just make a plug for when I do the Club Net, the trivia questions are pretty easy. Like, who's buried in Grant's tomb? But that's just for an appliance operator like me. But good trivia question. I have no idea. I'll send it back to Net Control. 73, everybody. This is K8PMI.
Who's buried in Grant's tomb? That's kind of like when they ask those college kids, hey, where was the Vietnam War fought? Oklahoma? I don't know. I don't get it, man. Thank you for being here. Always good to hear from you, buddy. I hope you have a wonderful evening, what's left of it. Terrific Tuesday to you, and I will look forward to talking to you in the near future. Give your best, give our best to your darling bride. Roseanne and I miss hanging out with you guys at the club meetings. 7-3, pal. The professor is up. This guy's got to get the answer. NTAD, good evening. I hope you're having a good, great day so far. A terrific Tuesday on your end. Over to you, and what's new with you, Dave? WAWKY.
Good evening, friend, everybody on the net. It's a beautiful evening here in Copley, I can tell you that. And got the lawn mowed. It's starting to look good, and caught up with the neighbors, and the neighbor next to me caught up with me this evening, so, you know, that's how it goes in the neighborhood. Wanted to try to sail today, but there just was not enough wind, and I didn't want to bake, so it would have been a better day for fishing, that's for sure. But we were productive, got things done. A couple things, if you're interested, our band's playing August 3rd, Sunday, in Copley Circle, coming up in a couple of weeks. Fox Hunt is coming up on Saturday. If anybody's got a length of cable, 20 to 50 feet, that they would like to sell me that'd be cheaper than DX Engineering, I'll give somebody some cash for some RG58U with a couple of PL259s on it. Otherwise, I'm going to head over to DX Engineering before the meeting. Having some issues. Long story, I won't go into it. But anyways, I'll buy some cable if somebody's got some. Answer the trivia. Hold on, let me get a beep. I tried bribing the hamsters with snacks and nuts, and they're just not going to get on the wheel there, Fred. I can't actually give you an educated, calculated answer, but I'll give you a number so somebody can be wrong. I'm going to say 17.150, just so you have a number. WAWKY, NTAD. Talk to you soon.
Affirmative, Professor Spondike. I hope you can find somebody to give you that length of coax that's going to be less expensive than DX. Although DX's costs are pretty good here and there. But yeah, you know what? It's all of what amateur radio is all about, helping each other out. So I would hope that somebody will contact you and say, hey, you know what, buddy? I got a length of coax for you you'll need, and the PL259s are already soldered on. They're probably silver soldered. You can wish for the best. This is kind of like Christmas in July. We just experienced that this evening. Anyway, take good care of yourself, Dave. I got your answer written down for 17.150 megahertz wavelength. And, yeah, thanks for being here. KE8ZZR, my buddy Harry. It's good to hear you this evening. How are things with you? And do you have an answer for our trivia question? WAWKY.
W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KE8
ZZR. Good evening, Fred, and everybody else that's out there in Radio Land. I don't know, Fred. That's a toughie question there. I have no clue. So I'll go with whatever the answer is. Whatever the right answer is at the end, that's going to be my answer. How's that? Not too much happening here. Just doing some odds and ends around the house and that. And, yeah, that's about it. Had lunch with the Wayne County Area's boys this afternoon. And had a Zoom meeting on the social media committee, I guess it is. And that's it. So I'll turn it back to you. Have a good evening. This is KE8ZZR Claire.
Harry, my friend, I miss seeing you. I miss speaking with you. Thank you for taking the time to check in with us this evening. I do appreciate that. And I've got your answer written down for the correct answer at the end when it's given. You might be the winner. Take good care of yourself. Have a terrific Tuesday. We will look forward to talking to you soon, okay? 7-3. Maslin Cruz up next, KF8DTP. Ms. Lori, good evening. How's work going? Hopefully you didn't have a long day today and a ton of trucks rolling in and out. I'll throw it over to you and see what's going on and see if you got an answer for a trivia question.
W8WKY from KF8DTP. Yeah, truck came about 10 today and was going really good until Lori decided to run a juice U-boat over her toe and bust it open. So, yeah, that's the extent of my day. I finished my work day, though. Yeah, and still went out and went bike riding. So, I mean, it's pretty bad right now, but that's okay. I'll just suffer through it and keep on walking. That's how I do that. That's how I roll, I should say. And my answer, I think I'm going to go with 17.3 megahertz. I don't know. I should, but who knows? You know, my brain don't work and function very well on a truck day, so that's all right. I work till 2 tomorrow, so I'm hoping to catch the second hour of the board and breaker net. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to you. 7-3, you all. KF8DTP.
KF8DTP, W8WKY. Ms. Lori, thanks for taking the time to check in with us. Man, that sounds like a miserable mess what you had to contend with at work today. And you still got on the bike and rode the bike. God bless you, girl. Whatever you do, you have a terrific Tuesday. I've got your answer written down for 17.3 megahertz wavelength. Have yourself a good one. Enjoy yourself. Relax this evening. Get some ice on the toe if you can. We'll look forward to talking to you in the near future. 7-3, girl. KE8UIB, Johnny, you're up. How was your day living that $5 dream a nickel at a time? Man, that's got to be a tough, tough life, buddy. Over to you.
W8WKY from KE8UIB. Good evening, Fred, everybody out there on the net. And, you know, it's always good, except for when you spend more nickels than you make, that's for sure. And this has been one of those summers. Lori and I, we enjoy our, she has an electric scooter, and I have a little folding e-bike, and we enjoy those. And we bit the bullet last week and just bought us a couple standard bicycles. I got me a 21 speed. She got a 7-speed, and ordered them off of Amazon. And we were doing some fine tweaking on the B-brakes today and stuff, and I got them out and got a couple miles in on them. And so, you know, so I guess I'm enjoying the nickels, I should say. How about that? Yeah, we'll just say that. I'm enjoying the nickels. It is tough, but hey, it's fun, that's for sure. I'm doing a weekly messaging back and forth with Mom and Dad, and they're with Lori. They're going to take a 17.3 megahertz. So I'm going to be slightly different. I'm going to say 17.350 megahertz. That's that. I'm feeling kind of ornery tonight. What can I say? Let me pause for time real quick. With that, I hope everybody's having a good evening. And this is KE8 UIB living that $5 dream a nickel at a time. I'm going to hand this back over to net control. 7-3, y'all. Thanks for running that, Fred.
And thank you for being here with us, Johnny. Appreciate it. You know what? God bless you, man. You guys, you work all day, and then you get home, climb on those electric bikes, scooters, bicycles, get a little bit of exercise in. That's good. That's really good. And I hope it all pays off. You have yourself a great evening. We'll look forward to talking to you in the morning on your drive to work, if you got time. Just take care of yourself, pal. 7-3 to you, Lori, and the family. We've got your answer written down for 17.35. And we'll give Lori and the fam 17.3. K40G, Mark, are you behaving yourself this evening? And how are things over there in Copley? K40G, W8WKY.
W8WKY and W8KOC and the gang. K4OG here. Behaving myself. Fred, you know me so well. Fred, your question is so intriguing. I just had to break out my pocket communicator / calculator, and I plugged in the Chrysler 300 formula and got it down to 4 decimal places before it stopped being equal. So that's all I can tell you, Fred, and looking forward to the answer. Nah, I have not been behaving myself. But I do have to call the wife right after this, and we're going to figure out where we want to meander around in Savannah, Georgia next month. That's where she wants to go visit. K4OG, back to net.
Mark, meandering around down in Georgia, that sounds like a fun time. I hope your plans come to fruition extremely well, and you end up having a great little travel there. You said 4 places to the right of the decimal. Can you give me all 6 places? Back to you.
Fred, I'm going to have to get a bigger calculator. I can't do that. I only made it to 4. So more power to whoever can do that. K4OG.
I have to say, out of everybody in here on the net with us this evening, those that might have a little bit of a stump clue, man, I thought you'd have had it nailed. You take good care of yourself, buddy. Don't work too hard. If you get a chance to check in with us in the morning, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, just have yourself a good rest of the week, okay? 7-3. KC8 HDP, Jerry, good evening. Thank you for being in here with us. I'll throw it over to you. Ask you how a day's gone. And what's your answer for the trivia question if you've got one? W8WKY.
W8WKY in the net. This is KC8HDP. Good evening, Fred. Well, if I could just guess, I mean, I would have said somewhere in the ballpark of 17.5, but obviously it's lower than 17.5. I don't know, 17.436125. I don't know. That's as good as I can get. That's just a wild guess there. Anyway, I had lunch with the Wayne Aries group today with Harry, K8ZZR. That's always a good time. Everything's been going fine otherwise. Beautiful day out there today. Got a little warm. Humidity's building, but anyway, Real nice day anyway. Don't really have anything else, but thanks for taking the net this evening, Fred. Good to hear you, and look forward to seeing everyone Thursday evening at the meeting. So with that, I'll send things back to Net Control, W8WKY and the net from KC8HDP 73.
Jerry, it's always a pleasure to share a QSO with you. Thanks for being in here with us this evening and frequenting the Tuesday Weekly Net. I hope that you have a really terrific Tuesday, what's left of it, a wonderful Wednesday tomorrow, a good rest of the week. And by the way, I have your answer written down as 17.436125. Almost sounds kind of like pi, 3.141592654. Take good care of yourself, Jerry. We'll look forward to talking to you soon. 7-3 to you, buddy. WA4WGA. Ray, good evening. Thanks for being in here with us this evening. It's been a while. I hope everything's well with you. Do you have an answer for our trivia?
Well, nobody said we were going up and down or down from 17 or to get 17. So I'm going to take a flyer on it. And I may or may not have found a sweet spot as far as the RF side goes, because I think it's misbehaving, otherwise I'd be using that. And I am going to put out a call again. Anybody that is close to me that can assist me in getting in a vehicle, in and out of a vehicle, I'd be interested in riding to the meeting with that person or those people, as the case may be. Therapy is moving along, getting better actually. Managed to walk a bit without falling on my coconut. That's getting better. And at the risk of being made a liar about my having found a sweet spot, I'm going to send it back to you. W8WKY, WA4WGA.
Ray, I have to admit, the signal in from Talmadge this evening is a little scratchy. Lots of static, background noise. We're glad you're here with us, for sure. And you may have given an answer for the trivia question, or it may have been a round ballpark number. But if you do have an answer, if you could up the power or change locations and come back in a little bit more clearly, I would sincerely appreciate it, buddy.
Let me think. I'm going to go with 9.5. 9.5. I'm going to go from up to 17 megs.
All righty, Ray. I got you written down. I've got you logged in and your answer. I do appreciate you being here with us this evening. Whatever you do, have a terrific Tuesday. Make the best of it. I will look forward to talking to you in the near future, okay? 7-3, my friend. WO3X, W8WKY. John, good evening. How the heck are you?
Good evening, Fred, and all on the net. This is WO3X. When you were telling us the trivia question, while you were saying it, I too pulled out my Chrysler 300 model calculator and put the model number into the calculator. Put that Model 300 into the calculator, and then I pressed the bottom left key, and by magic it came up with the answer. And so it came up with 17.320508. Now, there's no magic to that. It's numbers that we all know. Okay, if you want to know the wavelength, you just divide the speed of light, 300 million meters per second, by the frequency in megahertz, and that gives you the wavelength in meters. If you want to know the frequency, you divide 300 million meters per second, the speed of light, by the wavelength in meters, and that gives you the frequency in megahertz. So that's where the Chrysler 300 model calculator and pressing the bottom left key gave me 17.320508. So that's my answer. With that, this is WO3X back to the net.
And that is why WO3X is part of Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club instead of Silvercreek. Sorry. Sorry, John. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us, participating, enjoying the camaraderie and the trivia, and letting us know what's going on with you. Hopefully everything is okay on your end. Better than okay. And hope you have a terrific Tuesday, what's left of it. And we'll look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Stay tuned for our answer. N8WB, November 8, Whiskey Bravo, Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee. Good evening, Stefan. Good to hear you, and I hope everything's well with you. Over to you.
W8WKY, November 8, Whiskey Bravo. Good evening, Fred. Good evening to everyone on the net. So good to hear you, my friend. It's been a long time. We got to talk on Thursday if you're there. Well, I love trivia, and I don't have one of those Chrysler calculators, but I do have a very, very old Volkswagen German calculator, which you had to cold start with a gas engine, and you can't use this calculator in the wintertime because there's no heat. But fortunately, we're in warm degrees, so I'm going to say 17-meter band, and I got it right close to where John said it was, 173205. I didn't go 6 digits, but I went 4 digits, and in the middle of that would probably be a good band, would be, or a good frequency, would be 18118 right in the center. But love trivia. By the way, to Phil, that's actually a trivia question with a riddle. So there's nobody buried in Grant's tomb. Grant himself and his wife are buried in sarcophagi above ground, so nobody's actually buried in the tomb. And that's also, like, believe it or not, one of my favorite places is Lakeview Cemetery. If you haven't been there, Cleveland, Ohio, you should get down there. Anybody who's listening, Lakeview Cemetery, because that's where President Garfield is buried. And he, too, with his wife, and there are several urns in there for his daughter and his son-in-law, who was also part of the government, and are buried in sarcophagi in the vault downstairs. So you can actually go down the basement in the Garfield Monument and see his coffin draped in the flag, United States flag, and his wife's coffin right next to him. But they're not literally buried. They're just sealed shut with tar seal and lay there in state. But a great trivia question from you, and that little filler question from Phil. I do appreciate that. And yeah, this Thursday is the Sarah meeting down there at the Eagles in Wadsworth. So I can't wait to see you guys. Social committee had a short meeting today online, and appreciate the whole entire social committee group. And we got a lot of good events coming up, including our picnic, the family picnic. And I'll should have those dates locked down for the pavilion by Thursday from Brandy, our liaison for the Eagles Club. So I'll send it back to you. Appreciate you running the net. I'll have to jump on your morning net one of these days when I get up early enough to do that. I am running the net, the barometer net this Saturday to fill in for Phil because he's going to be out of town. And I got you covered, Phil, so no worries there. Send it back to you. W8WKY, November 8 Whiskey Bravo. Thanks, Fred. Appreciate you.
And Stefan, we appreciate you and all that you do for the club and for amateur radio. I know that you occasionally have been on giving the broadcast for Amateur Radio Newsline, and doing a great job with the committee for promoting enjoyment within the club, social committee. And seriously, Saturdays, you and Phil and whoever else happen to pick up that net, barometer net, 7 a.m. Saturday, fabulous. As is Dave Monday and Gary Thursday and Friday. So you take good care of yourself. I do have you marked down for 17.3205 megahertz wavelength. Have a great day, a great Tuesday, and I will look forward to talking to you in the near future. Miss you, buddy. 73 KE8VZA W8WKY. Eric, good evening. How the heck are you? How did your day go today? And do you have an answer for the trivia?
W8WKY in the group, KE8VZA here. Doing well, Fred. Thanks for asking. Today went pretty well. I got a lot done at work and with minimal interruptions, which is amazing. Came home, barbecued some chicken on the grill, and I have not eaten it yet because two nets were beckoning me, the Norris 10 meter and this net. And got into the Norris 10 meter net. Things were propagation ground wave wise was working in my favor, at least between me and net control up in North Ridgeville. But anywho, my answer for the trivia, I did calculate it based on the formula that John gave, but in all honesty, my guess, purely a guess, prior to that was 17.2. So 17.200 was my official guess. Now knowing the formula, I concur with John. Anyway, I have a Chevy Nova calculator here, so it's got, a straight 6 number of digits in it and a power glide. Anyway, KE8VZA, back to you, Fred.
Sir Eric, thank you. Thank you for being in here with us this evening. I am glad you had your Chevy Nova calculator, or Chevy, I think it might have been a Nova, you said. Chevrolets just don't go as good as Cadillacs or Chryslers, so I don't know. But anyway, thank you for being in here. Do appreciate it. And I've got you marked down for 17.200 or thereabouts. And yeah, hopefully you'll have a good rest of your Tuesday and a good, restful, peaceful sleep tonight so you can get out to the big W tomorrow morning, if that's where you're headed. Take good care of yourself, pal. 7-3. That is the bottom of the list. I'd like to take this opportunity to check in with any other stations that would like to come in and join us for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday evening club net, weekly net. Are there any other stations that have not checked in yet that would like to? W8WKY.
good evening, Fred. Here is KC8FQV, Mark over in Aurora. And yes, I did hear the trivia. I'll mention it when I come back.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Uniform, Quebec, Philip and River 6. Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Uniform, Quebec.
Added to the list, KC at FQV Mark and KE8YUQ Phil. Good to hear both of you. Thanks for being here with us. Anybody else? We'll go ahead and make this last call because we're past the top of the hour. Anybody else for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Weekly Net? Please give me WKY.
W8WKY, this is KF8ELA, Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Lima Alpha. Good evening, everyone. I've enjoyed listening on the side, but I'll be in and out this evening.
All right, KF8ELA, Zach. We got you. I marked you in and out. Thanks for being here with us. Appreciate it. You take good care of yourself and have a terrific Tuesday, what's left of it, okay? 7-3 to you. Okay, I don't know if, I think Mark said he heard the trivia question. I want to ask Phil, KE8YUQ. Phil, do you need me to repeat the question?
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Uniform, Quebec. Nope. Got an answer.
Okay. All right, I'm going to be right back to you. I'm going to get Mark in here first. KC at FQV, W8WKY. Mark, good evening. How the heck are you? What's new with you, and have you got an answer for the trivia?
All right, once everything resets, goes through the few tones and that. KCFQV. Yeah, I listened to we thank him to doing that live stream WB8CXO. So I listened to it there, and then I heard John and that, and I said, well, I think now I did the thing, and I put things together, and I said, well, I'm going to say 17.3. And originally I was looking at 300, but I said, no, it got to go down. Everyone's talking about it's around 17.3, so that's what we'll say. And so that was what's happening there. Hopefully, if I'm not too sleepy and whatever, I want to get out there on Thursday to the meeting. Maybe I'll come out early for the dinner, and who knows? I guess it just goes however. But that's what I did. And boy, oh boy, as KB8CXO raised some cane when I mentioned that he did the trivia net one day last week. I think it was last week. Holy smokes, was I don't know if the repeater got on fire or not, but he really stirred a lot of stuff up with them guys there check into the trivia net. So no longer, I don't think, that you guys will be able to hear the trivia net on that, which I think is a crime, them people up there. So they really raised some cane. And there was one guy, of course, he had a booth over at Cauca Falls Ham Fest. I can't call his call, but he was straight in the first aisle. So we'll put that much out. But boy, oh boy. So we'll send it back to net control. Yeah, we've got all kinds of activities happening Saturday. Fox hunt, the Norris Fest, I think there may be some POTA going on too somewhere. One of the clubs is doing. So let's send it back to net, KCFQB.
Fair enough, Mark. I do have you marked down for 17.3 for the trivia, and I'm glad to know that you've been having so much fun with all the nets. Take good care of yourself. Have a terrific Tuesday, what's left, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. 7-3. KE8YUQ. Phil, good evening. Thanks for being here with us. Good to hear you. Hopefully everything's gone well for you today. What's your answer for the trivia? W8WKY.
KE8YUQ. Sorry, just woke up again. Something put me asleep. Anyway, I was going to do the Chevy Nova thing, and horsepower is 175, so I was thinking 17.5, but I'll go with the 17.3. John couldn't have made it more clear, so that cleared up a lot of mathematics for me. So 17.3, back to you, K8YUQ.
Bill, I do have you marked down for 17.3, and we hope that you've had a great day on your end. Whatever you do, stay safe. Drop back and spend some time with us whenever you care to. Hopefully I'll get a chance to say good morning to you tomorrow morning. And make it a great rest of the day, buddy. 7-3. That is the bottom of the list. I think we're done here today, but I'm going to make a pause. Hopefully if there's anybody like Pops or anybody else out there who would like to check in after some other nets have completed, they'll check in with us. Otherwise, I'll pick it up after a few moments. All right, hearing nothing, I'd like to thank all the stations that checked in and out first off this evening. I'd like to thank all the stations that stuck around to play trivia with us and to say hello. It's great hearing everybody. Absolutely great. And I will go ahead and, again, read the question for this evening's trivia, which is really kind of cranky. I'm sorry about that. And then I'll let people know who got the answer right. Where would you tune, where would you tune for a signal that has the same numeric value of frequency in megahertz and wavelength in meters? The answer is 17.320508 megahertz equal to 17.320508 meters. Kind of a difficult mathematical brain trivia question, I have to say. 17.150 was Dave, NTAD, close. KE8ZZR wants the right answer at the end, so Harry, I think you're going to be a winner. KF8DTP, Lori and the fam. 17.3 megahertz. Very, very close. Not quite accurate enough, but very close. John was at 17.350 megahertz. KC8HDP, 17.436125. Close, but a little overshot. WA4WGA 9.5 to 17. WO3X John 17.320508. As I said, that's why John is a member of Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club and not Silvercreek. Hi. Stephanie has 17 meters, 17.3205. Eric, 17.200, but he changed it to 17.320508. Mark, 17.3. KC at FQV, and KE8YUQ Phil, 17.3. So with that, there you have it, folks. It's a very intricate question. I should have given multiple choice answers, and I did not because I was late arriving home to run the net, so my apologies to all you folks. Not giving you a chance, a better chance, to equate the answer. I hope everybody had a fun time with us this evening. It's great hearing everybody, in and outs, and those people that plan to stay around and chat with us a little bit and play trivia. We're going to do this all again next Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. And our sincere thanks to all those folks who take the time to check in with us. We sincerely appreciate it. I will go ahead and return the repeater back to normal amateur use at 9:16 p.m. And we had quite a few check-ins. I have not counted them yet. But a wonderful check-in list this evening. Everybody, take care. Have a terrific Tuesday and a good evening. 7-3 to everybody. This is WA8KOC for WAWKY. Everybody, take care.
WA8KOC, K8LYJ. Good net. I'll talk to you tomorrow after Kiwanis, as I'm heading to the coffee shop. 23.
Sounds good, Bob. Thanks. Take care of yourself, buddy. 7-3.
WA8KOC, KE8TQR. Good evening, Fred.
Keith, good evening. Good to hear you, buddy. I hope everything is well with you and you're getting a chance to play a little radio and enjoy yourself. Boy, today was a hot one. I'd have rather been down in the shack playing radio than outside working, that's for sure.
Roger on that. We stayed on the cool side of the door, but I just got down here into the shack and I heard you ending your net, so I just thought I'd throw my call sign out there and say good evening to you.
Sincerely glad that you did. I hope that all is well with you on your end. We went down past your area this evening and went down into North Canton, stopped at Advanced Auto Parts over there in your neck of the woods and tried to pick up some well-needed materials. But, yeah, good to hear you, and glad I got a chance to say hello. Hopefully everything's well with you.
Everything here could not be better, and the hope is the same with you and the wife. And yeah, you were down in my neck of the woods, so you had to gaze up at my tower when you went down Killian Road. Hi. Anyway, just wanted to say hi, Fred. I won't keep you, but it was good to hear you. And like I said, I just had to throw my call sign out there. W8KOC, this is KE8TQ. I'll be clear on your final.
Okay, Keith. Yeah, I've been having some problems with the 2-meter radio here. I think I had it on a high power, and it didn't like it. After a while, it started to take out amperage on the transmit, and it sounded kind of muffled to folks. So I'm back on low power here. Had a problem with the DR06T Alinco. I don't know what's going on. It shows power out on the output signal on the display, but yeah, nothing going out to the SWR watt meter. I'm thinking maybe the finals are blown, or I don't know what's going on. But you know what? It wasn't that expensive a radio to begin with, so if it's screwed up, whatever. I'll have to go ahead, hook it up to a battery, and have an amp meter looking at it while I'm transmitting to see if it's actually drawing. The display won't tell you too much, but the amp meter will, so we'll do that here in the near future. I just have to get through this week and get the nets out of the way. You take good care of yourself. Thanks for saying hello. I will look forward to talking to you in the near future, okay? 7-3, pal. KE8TQ A8KOC.